What's going on there, everyone? Well, our two favorite anti-Semitic fools in our government, they just can't seem to help themselves. As much as everyone likes to claim, and they themselves love to claim that they're not anti-Semitic, well, they just can't help themselves from being anti-Semitic. Omar and Tlaib share cartoon from prominent anti-Semitic cartoonist. Democrat Representatives Ilhan Omar of Minnesota and Rashida Tlaib of Michigan shared a meme on their Instagram stories Friday from cartoonist Carlos Latif, whose work has been accused of being anti-Semitic and has trivialized the Holocaust. Good job for supporting him, ladies. The meme features Latif's cartoon of President Donald Trump and Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu covering the Congresswoman's mouths, accompanied by the Star of David. The more they try to silence us, our voices rise, Tlaib wrote in her caption. The more they try to weaken us, the stronger we become. The more they try to discredit us, the truth prevails. To who? To some of your more crazy ideologues that follow you? Maybe. To the rest of everybody? Not so much. It just shows that you're unhinged, and you probably don't deserve to be where you're at. I'm sure a lot of the people that voted for you are wondering, what in God's name did we do? Except for the masses of, Islamic immigrants and stuff that live in your areas. That's why these people were voted in. Sorry, that's the truth. I already read that. I'll get a better view. Let me blow this picture up for you can see what the art that this man's creating. And this was her little tweet or whatever. The more they try to silence us, our voices rise. The more they try to weaken us, the stronger we become. Blah, 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 blah. Bibi Netanyahu covering Rashida Tlaib and Trump covering... see, this would never happen because I don't think either one of these men would ever physically want to put their hands on these women because they are disgusting, vile creatures. Very disgusting. But yeah, this is the cartoon he made recently because of the whole debacle there. And this is the type of stuff he loves to make. Yeah. A Jewish person from the Holocaust and someone from Gaza making the swastika symbols with their bodies. Come on, people. What's happening in the Gaza region has no bearing on what happened in the Holocaust. It's completely different. You do not see piles of corpses in the Gaza region. You just don't see it. It doesn't happen. These women want to sit here and be like, oh, Palestine is this, that, and the other. There is not really a place called Palestine. It's not like a state or a country or anything. Which, these anti-Semitic people don't seem to understand. Or they understand it and just refuse to acknowledge the factual situation. But they are leftists, and leftists don't really care about facts all that much. They just care about their opinions. The post comes days after Omar and Tlaib were denied entrance into Israel due to their support for an international boycott of the Jewish state, which by Israeli law, that was perfectly acceptable. They don't have to let people in who, are part of this BDS movement. Anybody who speaks ill of Israel, generally isn't allowed to come in there, which is a good policy. It's a very good policy. I wish we had a policy similar in America, where the people who constantly talk crap about America should be made to get the heck out, But that's just my opinion. Tlaib was granted a humanitarian visa to visit her 90-year-old grandmother, but turned it down, claiming that Israel was trying to silence her. No, they just said, yes, you can come see your grandmother, but, keep your anti-Israel politics out of it while you're in Israel. Kind of makes sense, you know. Why would you invite someone over if they're just going to try to bring down... The only people that do that is us. You know, we bring people like Angela Merkel over, let her speak at a college event while she walks all over America. Yeah, but that, for some reason, that's an American thing. We do that all the time. We don't care. Because we do allow people freedom of speech. Which is an awesome thing. But we shouldn't allow foreigners to come over here and rag us when they're not American. They don't know what's going on in America. They just know what the left-wing legacy media tells them, which is a bunch of nonsense most of the time. Tlaib is a staunch critic of Israel and has frequently made cartoons mocking survivors of the Holocaust. Tlaib has compared the state of Israel to Nazi Germany, something for which he has drawn praise from anti-Israel countries in the Middle East. It seems like Ilhan Omar herself has done the same exact thing. It's amazing how like minds think alike, you know, or you know what I mean. You know what the phrase I'm coming up. Sorry, I'm a little loopy. A 2006 cartoon of Tlaib was awarded second place in the Iran Holocaust Cartoon Contest, for which he was awarded $8,000. Leave it to Iran to make a contest where you draw things from the Holocaust. Good job, Iran. Since being sworn into Congress earlier this year, Tlaib and Omar have both come under fire for comments and actions widely perceived as anti-Semitic. Omar received criticisms from Republicans and Democrats in February after she claimed that the U.S. support of Israel is all about the Benjamins, and a comment her detractors claimed played on anti-Jewish stereotypes. Following her comments, the House of Representatives passed a resolution condemning all forms of bigotry, although the resolution did not single out Omar specifically, which it should have. It should have put her in check immediately. But because the Democrats seem to care about power more than policing, I've noted this is a big trend, not only in Washington, but in their districts and this, that, and the other. They just care about their power. They don't care about, policing their own. They refuse to do that because I guess in their mind it shows weakness, but in actuality that would show strength. We're not going to tolerate bigotry and this, that, and the other from anyone, and anyone who does anything will be called out. Kind of like, who does that? The Republicans kind of do that. When a Republican makes a blatantly ridiculous statement, he will be condemned. We saw this not too long ago. I can't remember the representative's name at the moment, but he said some borderline retarded things about white supremacy, which weren't even that over the top, but we all condemned him and removed him from the committees he was on because we don't need that kind of thing in the Republican Party. Will the left ever do that? Absolutely not. Power comes above anything. Power is more important to these people than anything. They are authoritarians, and I'm sure if they had the chance, they would love to be a dictatorship, for they could just spew out all their nonsense, and people would have no choice but to listen. But good on Israel. Good on Trump for continuing to talk about these people and to keep them in the limelight. For us normal, everyday Americans can see this and be like, hey, this is a bad idea to have people like this in power. We should vote them out. Don't sit there and say, oh, go home, this, that, and the other. They're American citizens. No, let's do our part and let's do our real power and vote them out. Because they do not have America's best interest at heart. They do not have American citizens' best interest at heart. It seems like Tlaib, through some of her comments, cares more about the Palestinian people than she ever has about American people. Which is a problem. You should, America first. You're in the American government, America first. Let's worry about us. Stop worrying about people overseas. That's not our country. Simple as that. With all these crazy ideas the left wing has, that would pretty much bankrupt our country immediately. We need to stop thinking on such a humanitarian level. There's 199, 200 countries in this world. I think they can pitch in a little bit more for humanitarian aid. Why do we have to sit here and put ourselves at financial risk and all this for all these other countries? And that goes for Israel too. We give them an extraordinarily large sum of money every year. We don't need to do that. Israel's pretty wealthy. They're doing pretty good. Most of the countries that we give money to aren't that bad. Yes, some of them are. Some of them are pretty awful and stay pretty awful. So it seems like our money's not even helping there, so why do we keep giving it to them? But now I'm going off on a tangent. But yeah, I think it's just funny. This story shows that this was kind of was all just a ploy. It was a ploy to make Israel look bad, when all they were actually doing is enforcing their laws that are on their books. It doesn't matter whether you're a diplomat or not. You have to follow the laws. Good on you, Israel. You shouldn't let these women in. You shouldn't. The fact that they're in our government is terrifying to me every day. The rhetoric they spew is the type of rhetoric that makes crazier individuals think too hard and then think they can act on what they're thinking. I'd love to hear your comments on this, whether you think I'm just being hyperbolic by saying these women are fairly dangerous and all of that, or whether you agree. And as always, like, share, subscribe. I will catch you on the flip side.